اهلا بيكم طلاب الصف الثالث الاعدادي. النهارده هناخد حلقه جديده من حلقات الانجليش تحت رعايه واشراف وزاره التربيه والتعليم. طيب احنا المره اللي فاتت عملنا ايه؟ اخذنا في الحلقه الاولى present simple for scheduled events، واتكلمنا على شكل present simple لما يكون عندي fixed time او scheduled event. خدنا prepositions of time، واخذنا vocabulary words related to the unit. والنهارده هنبدأ يونت جديد، يونت 2 Let's go shopping. Our unit is called Let's go shopping. Before we start our new unit, we're going to have a quick recap on unit 1. This is like revision, مراجعة سريعة على اللي أخدناه في unit 1. Just a brief or small exercise on unit 1. Exercise صغير عليه. نفتكر كده, what time does the lesson, do you remember the present simple for fixed events or scheduled event? What time does, I have does, this is the auxiliary verb or helping verb. فلو أنا عندي does قلنا مش بنرجع نحط s للverb لأن خلاص ال s أو ال es راحوا عند verb do. So what time does the lesson start? The second example, when space the train arrive. I have train singular, so I need to put do in the singular form. Verb do محتاج يبقى singular، فقلنا في ال present simple بنزود له es does. 3. The train arrive in Luxor at 7 p.m. It's the same rule. Arrive and I have train. Train is singular, so I need to add s to the verb. So the train arrives. This example is related to the prepositions of time. If you remember, we said if we have afternoon or morning, we say in the morning or in the afternoon. Again, prepositions of time. Saturdays, days of the week, we say on. Yes, on Saturdays, I like to stay at home. مع أيام الأسبوع بستخدم on. مع afternoon, morning بستخدم in. They like to visit Hurghada, winter. Winter is a season, so I say in winter. Now let's get to our unit. First, we're starting with the learning objectives. In this unit, you're going to learn how to read an online support message, an advert for handicrafts, and online reviews. And you're going to learn how to write emails asking for and giving information about handicrafts and an online review. And for speaking, you're going to speak about things at home, shopping habits, problems with technology. And with language or grammar, you have to differentiate, or you're going to learn how to differentiate between either, neither, none, and both. دي أهداف الunit. Here we're having an introduction to the vocabulary of the unit. الفوكابلري بتاع الunit. Can you guess the names of the following items? We'll be having pictures, and you're going to guess the word of related to this picture. So what is this picture? Can you guess? دي صورة إيه? Yeah, it is a kettle. So this is a kettle. The second picture, what is this picture? This is a coffee machine. Coffee machine. بتعمل قهوة. What is this picture? This is a laptop. And how about this one? This is easy. This is television. And here, what is this picture? This is, we call it smart speakers. Do you know what smart speakers are? اللي هي مكبرات الصوت زي سماعة وبتكبر الصوت أو بتسمع الصوت. And this is microwave. And how about this picture? Can you guess? These are headphones. Headphones. This is a nice one. A sort of an old device. Not used that much nowadays. Can you guess what that is? It's a cassette player. Cassette player. Now we're going to do a vocabulary exercise. In this exercise you're going to match each item with its definition. يعني عندنا الفوكابلري اللي احنا أخدناه وهنوصل كل واحدة بالدefinition بتاعتها. So the vocabulary words that we have are coffee machine, fridge, kettle, microwave, and oven. Let's start with the first definition and try to guess the word that goes with it. A machine we use to keep the food cold and help food stay fresh longer. To keep the food cold, يفضل الأكل بارد, and help food stay fresh longer. What is this machine? It is the fridge. Very good. The second definition, a machine we use to cook, heat or bake food. Cook, بنطبخ, heat or bake. What's the meaning of bake food? bake يعني بنخبز فيه أكل أو كده, نحط فيه صينية أو كيك أو حاجة. What is this machine? Can you guess? It's an oven. الفرن. C. A machine we use to boil water. What is the meaning of boil? What's boil? Boil means إن أنا أغلي مية. What is the machine that we use in order to boil water? The answer is kettle. D. A machine we use to cook and heat food very quickly. We cook and heat but very quickly. نحط الحاجة تخلص بسرعة جدا. What is this machine? It's the microwave. The last definition is a machine we use to make coffee. That's easy. We have coffee maker or coffee machine. Perfect. Now we're going to have a grammar lesson, and let's get to the board in order to have a good explanation for this lesson. So we're going to explain the comparative form versus the superlative form. So what is the comparative form? We use comparative form with adjectives. بنستخدمه مع الصفات. And I use this in order to compare between two things or people or ideas. So the key here is two. لما أقارن ما بين شخصين أو حاجتين أو فكرتين, two only, I use the comparative form. How do I do that? إزاي بعمل كده؟ إزاي أعمل المقارنة باستخدام الadjectives اللي هي الصفات ما بين شخصين أو حاجتين أو فكرتين. Let's start with the short adjectives. لو عندي صفة short adjective شكله صغير ككلمة صغيرة. For example, I have old, I have tall. How do I do that? For example, Ahmed is taller than Muhammad. So what is the rule here? I have a short adjective. I'm comparing between two people only. شخصين, أحمد ومحمد, اتنين بس, two people only. So, and I have a short adjective. الadjective أو الصفة اللي عندي ككلمة صغيرة. الرول بعمل إيه طالما عندي اتنين؟ I add ER to the adjective plus than. ER plus than. This is the first rule for the comparative form. Another example, we can say Omar is, and then his brother. I have a comparison between Omar and his brother. Two people. شخصين. عايزة أعمل comparison. بعمل إيه؟ And I want to use old. تاني الرول, I add ER, so older, and I add than. Older than. This is the first case. دي أول case عندي. طيب, what if I have an adjective such as large that ends with E? Some of the adjectives have E already at the end. Do I add another ER? No, I don't do that. I just add R. يعني الadjective أصلا هنا آخره E. فما ينفعش ارجع ازود ER زي ما عملت هنا. طيب الحل اعمل ايه؟ بزود R بس. example my bedroom is larger R only than the living room. You see here, because I have E at the end, عندي ال E موجودة, so I just add R only and I have than. Okay. What if I have an adjective such as big? Big or hot. These adjectives have a vowel and then a consonant. يعني بيبقى فيه vowel في النص وبعدين consonant. الفاولز في الانجليش اللي هم ال E, O, A, I and U. الكونسوننت اللي هو أي حرف تاني غير دول. طيب أنا ده small adjective وعندي consonant فيه vowel and then consonant. How do I do this? I say the weather in this country is hotter than that of any other country. I double the consonant, so I have a vowel, عندي vowel وعندي consonant. علشان أزود ال ER I have to double the consonant, فهتبقى hotter بالدبل T, and the same with big, هتبقى bigger with double G. Okay, what if I have a long adjective? I have long adjective. الادجكتيف طويل مش هينفع ازود ER. مثلا example I have interesting. I have boring. These are long adjectives. I cannot say interestinger, boringer. I do not do that. ما ينفعش اعمل كده. طيب أنا عايزة أعمل comparison ما بين حاجتين وعندي long adjectives. الادجكتيف طويل مش صغير زي old وtall وlarge وbig، مش صغير. adjective طويل هنعمل إيه؟ We add more plus the adjective as it is plus than. بحط more الأول وبعد كده الادجكتيف وبعد كده than. more يعني أكتر. طب عايزة أقول أقل. I say less plus the adjective plus than. طب example this book is more interesting than the one I read yesterday. أهو interesting is a long adjective طويل, and I'm comparing between this book كتاب and the one I read yesterday كتاب تاني قريته امبارح. فمقارنة ما بين حاجتين كتابين. In this case I put more and then the adjective as it is اللي هو interesting بدون أي إضافة بزودش ER and then. طيب عايزة أقول إن هو less أقل مش مسلي زي بتاع امبارح, so I say this book is less interesting than the one I read yesterday. يعني مش مسلي زي بتاع امبارح أو أقل منه. So I say less. So this is the rule for the comparative. Comparative means comparing between two things or people or ideas. How about the superlative? Superlative means comparing between more than three things. Three or more. Actually, it's three or more. So starting from three. يعني لازم يكون ثلاثة فيما أكتر، لأنه لو اتنين هيبقى comparative، بس هنا three or more. بستخدم superlative form. طب superlative we're going to follow the same rules، نفس الرولز دي، but instead of the ER we're going to use EST. Okay? For example, let's have the same examples. Ahmed is taller than Muhammad. Here we have two people. طيب, if I want to compare between Ahmed and all of his friends, كده أنا بقارن بين أحمد وكل أصحابه، يبقى كده أكتر من اتنين. So I say Ahmed is the بدل than بقى بستخدم the، يعني الكي بتاعته the tallest I add est boy in the class. هنا I'm comparing between أحمد and all the boys in the class. كل الولاد اللي في الكلاس. مش بقارن ما بين اتنين بس. No, I'm comparing between one and many. So I use the superlative form that consists of the plus adjective plus est. The tallest boy in the class. طيب عايزة استخدم oldest. عمر is the oldest man in his family. Old is a short adjective. Adjective قصير, short adjective. I put the and I add est. Here I'm comparing between عمر and all the family members. ما بين عمر وكل الناس اللي في أسرته. Is the oldest man in his family. طيب لو أنا عندي الادجكتيف آخره E، هل هرجع أزود E تاني؟ لا. We do the same thing. We stick to the same rule. So if I say large, I can say my room is, who can tell me? First I say the and largest. I don't add another E. I add only st because the E is already there. ال E موجودة. My room is the largest room in the house. So here I'm comparing between my room, أوضتي, and all the other rooms in the house. كل الأوض التانية اللي في البيت. All the other rooms in the house. That's why I use the superlative form. لأن المقارنة هنا مش حاجتين، هنا 3 فيما فوق، أكتر من حاجتين. That's why I use the superlative form. طب what if it's a long adjective؟ أنا عندي long adjective طويل، مش هقدر أحط له est زي ما قلنا interesting و boring و exciting و fantastic و beautiful. دي كلها بنسميها adjectives طويلة، مش هقدر لا أحط لها في ال comparative er and I cannot put est in the superlative. So what is the rule here? The rule is with long adjectives, I use the most or the least plus the adjective and continue as it is. Let's have an example. So the example here, this book is more interesting than the one I read yesterday. I can say this is the most interesting book I've ever read. I'm comparing between the book that I read, الكتاب اللي قريته, and all the other books, لأن هنا I've ever read اللي قريتهم في حياتي كلهم. So I'm comparing between this book and all the other books. And ever read or ever watched, this is a clue to the superlative. يعني لما الاقي have or has ever done something, ده معناه ان انا بقارن ما بين حاجة وكل الحاجات اللي عملتها في حياتي، فبستخدم السوبرلاتيف. As I told you, the rule is I put the and then most and then interesting. I don't add est here. خلاص بحط الموست، مش برجع احط est الانترستنج. طيب لو عايزه اقول الاقل واحد في اللي انا قريتهم، اقلهم، I say this book is the least. least يعني الاقل. interesting book I have ever read. الأقل فيهم the least interesting. And that's the rule for the comparative and superlative. Now let's get to the presentation in order to have practice. Okay, so here, as we said, the comparative form is used to compare two people, ideas, or things. The comparative لازم اتنين بس. The superlative form with the word the, ببدأ ب the before the adjective, is used to compare 3 or more. 3 فيما أكتر. And as I explained, I add er, r, or ier. طيب when do I add IER؟ امتى بحط ال IER؟ يعني أنا قلت لكم بنحط ال ER وال R and I told you about more and less. When do I add IER? I add IER if I have an adjective that ends with Y. يعني easy ends with Y. And the letter before it is a consonant. Easy, E-A-S-Y. It ends with Y, and the letter before Y is a consonant letter. حرف مش not a vowel. والadjective easy ends with Y. في Y في آخره. طب هنعمل إيه؟ We cross out the Y and we put IER. And in the superlative form, we cross out the Y, بنشطب ال Y and we put IEST. Okay, sometimes we have irregular adjectives, such as good. I cannot say gooder or the goodest. في adjectives بيبقوا irregular adjectives، يعني ما ينفعش أحط لهم ال ER ولا أحط لهم EST ولا أحط most ولا more ولا الكلام ده. هم ليهم form مختلف. They have a different form, such as good and bad, and we have other adjectives as well. طيب good. If I want it in the comparative form, عايزة أقارن ما بين حاجتين, I use better. And if I want it in the superlative form, I can use the best. For example, my grades this year are better than my grades last year. طيب أنا بقارن ما بين الجريدز درجاتي السنة دي ودرجاتي السنة اللي فاتت. حاجتين السنة دي والسنة اللي فاتت. طيب good هل ينفع أقول gooder than؟ قلنا لا. It's an irregular adjective. We say better than last year. And my grades this year are the best. درجاتي السنة دي هي الأفضل على الإطلاق. The best. I don't say the goodest. Same with bad. Bad ما بقولش badder. I say worse than. And the worst. الأسوأ. Examples. This fridge is bigger than the other fridge. I'm comparing between this fridge واحدة and the other fridge. بكده اتنين. That's why I'm using the comparative form. Is bigger than. What's the funniest film that you've ever seen? الفيلم أكتر فيلم مضحك شفته في حياتك، فبقول على الفيلم اللي شفته ده وكل الأفلام. Remember when I was explaining on the board, I told you if I have ever seen, done, watched, read, then this is a clue to the superlative form. يعني ده دايما ever دي كأنه بيقول لي ده superlative. أعرف على طول إن أنا أحطها في superlative. The funniest film. The book is more interesting than the last one. This is the worst. This adjective is supposed to be bad. ده المفروض يبقى bad. بس because it's an irregular adjective ليه قاعدة خاصة. I say the worst advert I've ever seen. عندي I've ever زي ما قلت لكم لما أشوف ever I use the superlative. بستخدم ال superlative form. وعشان bad هي irregular so I say the worst. Online shopping is better than shopping at the mall. Comparison ما بين online shopping في مقارنة ما بين ال online shopping and shopping at the mall. فبستخدم ال comparative form. Good طبعا من ال irregular adjectives so I have to say better than. كده احنا خلصنا part 1. We're done with the first part of the unit. We took the comparative and superlative forms and we took vocabulary words related to the unit. خلصنا الجزء الأول خدنا comparative و superlative وخدنا vocabulary words. In the next part we're going to continue and finish the unit. See you and good luck.